Hey everybody, I started just a little bit early, so I'm just going to give it a minute here for folks to jump on. And as I'm getting ready, I'm going to get my hair up. Hope everybody is doing well. Such a stressful time. Okay, hopefully no red hair in the dip. That's always my goal, but gotta have some of my tea. And my fancy fox mug. It's my favorite mug. There it is. All right, I got some caffeine in me, so that's good. So today I'm gonna put together this Little Debbie Christmas tree cake dip. Little Debbie this year has blown up. So literally I have a blow mold for my yard of a Little Debbie Christmas tree cake. But I have been making this dip for a couple of years now. So I do realize standing here, I'm super dark. I'm gonna throw this other set of lights on really quick. I'm probably gonna turn off another setting, but oh, there we go. Ooh, there, now you can see me. How great is that? So this dip here, there are a couple different recipes online that I've seen. I kind of meshed a couple of them together. So for my recipe, I'm going to use 5 of the Christmas trees. I'm going to use a block of light Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm going to use about 1/4 cup of milk. I do have the little sanding sugars for when I'm all done, but I'm going to hold off on putting these on the dip because we're going to have this tomorrow night and these usually will start to kind of melt away. So I'll put the sanding sugar on right before I'm going to serve the dip tomorrow. Now this is where my recipe differs a little bit from other ones that I've seen online. I like to add a little bit of vanilla to it. I think that it just brings it up a level. Without it, it's a lot of sugar and it's nice, but it needs a little additional vanilla in my opinion. You can always make this without the vanilla first, see how you like it, and then kind of go from there. What I will say is for this dip, I always think it looks a little interesting when you're putting it together, to say it lightly, but leave it sit in the refrigerator for a few hours before you try it. All the flavors do kind of need to mesh and meld. It needs to get really cold again and then it'll taste much better. Also the cake will soften up within it. So if you try it immediately after you make it, it's not going to be the same flavor or the same consistency if you let it sit for a little while in the fridge. So I like to make this dip the night before. I've also seen on a couple recipes that people say using the Cool Whip, which I'm going to grab out of the fridge in just a minute, adding the Cool Whip to it, it will start to separate, so it's best to use it immediately. I have not found that to be the case at all. I made this dip the night before Christmas Eve. For Christmas Eve, we've eaten it Christmas Day, we've eaten it the day after, because we always tend to get so many goodies, and I try not to go too crazy on the amount of things that I am making for hosting Christmas Eve and Christmas, but I have had no issues with this dip separating. So I'm gonna grab out my milk and my Cool Whip. I wanted to keep them nice and cold before we got going. And then we'll put this together. I'll show you a couple other tricks that I found to make it easier to put everything together because the Christmas trees can be a little chunky. So stand by with me just a second here. I'm gonna grab my milk out and my Cool Whip. And you get to see me struggle opening up a ton of different things. So first things first is going to be this cream cheese. I just grab a little paper towel too. We've got so much stuff in our refrigerator right now. Everything is all over. Okay. So I think I'm smart. I did bring scissors, so. Hey everybody, oh that's okay, thank you so much for hopping on. I keep saying I need to get some kind of like, I don't know, like magnifying glass for my phone because I'm always squinting trying to look at it, maybe better contacts, but I need something to like make the screen bigger so I can see it. I always feel like, I don't know, I'm always just squinting and looking down. So if you see that, it's me just trying to look at the comments. All right, so good news is I've gotten one package open, so I think that was my biggest fear today, was not being able to open all these different things. So first thing I like to do with the cream cheese is take that out and get it in the bowl. It's also helpful if you take the cream cheese out a little bit prior to let it soften. If you don't, it's just going to make it harder to get the Christmas trees to incorporate into them. So again, 1 block of the cream cheese. I go ahead and start adding my trees in. I'll put the Cool Whip in towards the end. I have my tax collector down here. She's hoping for a little morsel, but this is not for her. So sorry, Zoe. She's sniffing around like crazy down here. All right. Good news, I got another package open. So here's tip number 1. When you're doing this, don't just throw the whole tree in, because if you do that, again, you're gonna get this like clumpy mess going on, and these big blocks that you're gonna have to try to get with your hand mixer. So with your nice clean hands, you can go ahead and just break them up a little bit. That will definitely help. Oh, I am making the Little Debbie Christmas tree dip. Little Debbie this season has just had its glow up, I think. But I've been making this dip for a couple of years. I found it 2 or 3 years ago on the internet somewhere, and I was like, ooh, I love these trees. So does everybody else in my household. I bet if you make it into a dip, it'll be fantastic. So it's so simple because it's a no-bake recipe. So anybody can do it. And what I like about it is you just make it the day before and it's ready to go. So again, I've seen a lot of recipes say, you know, you make it and serve it right away. I disagree with that. I think it needs a little bit of time in the refrigerator for everything to kind of meld in together. And like I said, I think it's much better. I give it at least 8 to 12 hours in the refrigerator. Let it do its thing, and then it's good to go. But it's nice because if you're hosting, or even if you're going somewhere, it's easy to take this with you. And then if you're hosting, you're not stuck trying to cook something or trying to prepare it right before you have to serve it. So I love this. Again, where are my gloves? Nelson, I just washed my hands. That's what this was for. So wash my hands, my hair's up. We're good, we're good. So I'm going to do 5 of the Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes with 1 block of cream cheese. I've got Cool Whip over here on standby. And again, I'm just tearing these up because it makes it easier to kind of mix and blend this all together. And I'm going to apologize because I am going to have to use an actual mixer. So we'll all have to talk amongst ourselves for a few minutes because you're probably not going to hear me. So again, we've got about 1/4 cup of milk is going to go into this. I'm using whole milk for this recipe, but if you can't use whole milk for whatever reason, you could use something else. Although I'm sure that there is a lot of whatever you can't have also in here, so this might not be the recipe for you. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and you can see I've got quite a mess going on in this bowl. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get our Christmas trees and the cream cheese kind of melded together a little bit, give it a little head start, because again, when you're beating the Cool Whip in there, it'll kind of dissipate really, really quickly. So, oh, that's okay. Oh, thank you, Nelson. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas. So I'm going to try to do this really quick so you guys can hopefully hear me still. It's not too bad. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought. And again, this is one of those recipes that you have to trust the process because she looks a hot mess when you are putting it together, but trust me, it is so good. And I like to serve this with graham crackers, those little Nilla wafers, and then if you've seen like the honey wheat braided pretzels, oh, they're so good in this. So just clean these beaters. Okay, so this is what it should look like at this stage. And I'm gonna go ahead and add in the vanilla. And again, this is optional, but I think the flavor is so good in this, and it just gives it a little extra kick. Tax collector is very upset that she's not up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in my Cool Whip. And it does take a whole container, but the nice part is when you're all done, this can go back in the same container. You can put the cap on it and it can stay in the fridge overnight. You can take it in this container, or you can get a nice glass bowl and put that in there as well. And then you're gonna use that sanding sugar, and I would wait to do that. If you're gonna put it in another bowl to take it somewhere, then you could put the sanding sugar on top. If not, I would just wait until you're gonna serve it. It's super simple to just sprinkle it on top. I've also seen some really cute recipes where they take out an extra tree and put it right on the top, or kind of like half in the dip. That's super cute, but the recipe does call for 5 trees, and 5 are what's in the box. So if you want to go crazy, or if there is a sale and you get 2 boxes and you have some extra, you can go ahead and do that to be a little fancier. I will say I had a really hard time getting these this year. They're so popular. It's a bit of an anniversary year for them. So it was hard, and they do have an expiration date. I don't know if anybody's really noticed that. So just be careful that you're not getting any that are expired, because that could definitely jeopardize the recipe. So I'm gonna go ahead and just incorporate that Cool Whip that I put in there. And because we've already blended the other ones together, this is gonna blend in much, much easier. I always think of the thing from, anybody watch Schitt's Creek, where they talk about just folding it in. Just fold it in. So you're just gonna fold your Cool Whip in, whatever that means. And again, this is a recipe that you're gonna have to trust the process because she is not very pretty, but it's so good. And it's gonna probably make a little bit more than what my Cool Whip container can handle, but that's okay. I'll either just throw it in another small piece of Tupperware or a Ziploc bag or something else. Okay, I'm just gonna clear off my beaters here. I'm cheating a little. And I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure I've gotten everything on my sides in. And it is gonna feel a little thin in consistency. And again, that's where putting it in the refrigerator and letting it set up at least overnight is gonna help this dip thicken. And the other nice part is, because I'm hosting both Christmas Eve and Christmas, I can take this and split it up into 2. So then I have dips for both events, which is nice. I'm just gonna hold this up. So that's what it's gonna look like. Kind of a little bit thinner than maybe a batter, but this will thicken up in the refrigerator tonight. So again, I went ahead and put vanilla in, which is a little different from what a lot of the recipes online call for, but I think that it just ups that flavor so much more than doing it with just the, oh, tax collector is sneezing at my feet. That's lovely, right? Again, use vanilla if you want to. If you don't, that's fine too. I used 5 of the Little Debbie Christmas trees in this, a block of Philadelphia cream cheese. I used the light, you can use regular. I used 1/4 cup of whole milk, and then a container of Cool Whip. So it's so simple. Anybody can do this recipe. Very, very easy. And again, I like it because if you're hosting, it's one of those things you don't have to put a lot of time or energy into it the day of, and you can literally serve it in this. Just go ahead and mound things around it. No one's gonna see the Cool Whip container. And if they're complaining about a Cool Whip container, you've got, or they have bigger problems, I should say, at hand. So, all right, let me get all of this in there. And partially on my shirt, why not? She is down here whimpering. There's nothing for you to see. There's nothing for you to see. Other than my shirt. Should probably clean that later too. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my lid right on it. Wipe my lid off. So that's it. So my dip is in this container. It's really great to just put it back in here if I want to take it anywhere. If I was going to somebody else's house and take this in there, it's not going to spill. It's not going to go anywhere. Grab a bag of pretzels. Like I said, the honey wheat braided pretzels are so good with this. the vanilla wafers or Nilla wafers, and graham crackers. Those are the three that we use. I've definitely seen people use strawberries too. I just never seem to do that, but you could if you wanted to, or other fruits. So I like to put this on like a little serving tray. So I have usually like a cheese tray or something to that effect. I'll take that, put this in the center, and then I'll go ahead and put the other items around it. So again, easy, easy. My poor dog is losing her marbles down here. She's usually like, why are you not picking me up? She's like, it's time for bed. So we're pretty early to bed people. So again, I'm sorry if I'm squinting and looking funny. Yeah, Schitt's Creek, Molly. I feel like either I need, yeah, I do have stars enabled. So thanks for pointing that out. I do have stars enabled. I'm not fully monetized yet, but you can send me stars if you'd like to, if I've inspired you. But of course, I like just getting on here and sharing things that I'm doing. I love the holidays. If you've been new to my page and just recently kind of come across everything, I run a holiday light show. We've been doing that since 2017. I love Christmas lights, but honestly, I love all holidays. So I just enjoy putting together parties and decorations and DIYs. For me, it's a bit of a stress reliever. I mean, sometimes the holidays can be really stressful too, which I get. But for me, I really enjoy that. So I'm putting out this content. Prior to this, I was doing a lot more with the light show and just putting that out as content, but I do host most of the holidays for my family, and I'm constantly doing stuff for other holidays, so I thought I would take the leap and start putting out some more content in that regard. So we'll have stuff for Valentine's Day coming up. We're going to talk about New Year resolutions, and then how we're probably going to just break them on January 2nd, to be honest, but yeah, we'll put out all those things. Easter, all that good stuff. 4th of July is a really big one at my house. We decorate here, huge party. So there's a lot of content coming down the pike. So, oh, thank you, Molly. I really appreciate that. And again, if you didn't see earlier, I can barely see the screen half the time, so I'm kind of squinting. So if I'm making this funny face and looking weirdly at the camera, that's what that's about. So I'm just gonna throw my milk back in the refrigerator, and I'm gonna put the dip that I made in the fridge because I don't wanna give anybody food poisoning later on. So bear with me for 1 second here. Is anybody hosting tomorrow? Are we hosting Christmas? Are we hosting Christmas Eve? Are we hosting both? Are we locking the doors so people can't get in your house? What are we doing? Let me know in the comments, because I'm hosting, and then I'm hosting a New Year's Eve party till 9 o'clock, and then everybody has to leave because I'm old and I need to go to bed, so I can't be up till midnight. There's just no way. I don't have to work the next day this year, which is a change, but I'm not doing it. I have a 6-year-old that will be up his normal time regardless of what time he goes to bed, and I can't. Is anybody staying up till midnight? In my age range, like, or am I just an old fuddy-duddy now? I'm not really sure. As I drink my tea at 8:50 at night in my fancy Fox mug. If anybody wasn't here earlier, it's my favorite mug. My friend Sue got it for me years ago, and I just think it is the stinking cutest thing ever, and it's funny, and it makes me laugh every day when I use this cup. So I don't want to ever break it, but I feel like I should probably get a second one as a backup somewhere. Oh boy, you guys are hosting. Molly says she's hosting Christmas Day, morning and night. Oh, and Nelson says his kids are grown. So you quit Xmas? How do you quit Christmas? You're just not hosting too much? Is that it? You're just gonna enjoy your day in peace and quiet, Nelson? Well, Molly, I feel you, because I'm hosting tomorrow night, and then I'm I have to feed the family, you know, in the morning, of course. Then new this year, my mom, we had to move her into the nursing home. My mom lived with us for 10 years. She has dementia, and unfortunately it got to the point where we're having issues with safety. We had aides in the house, but if they had to leave and I was at work and couldn't get home, Mom was wandering and she had walked outside. She was having issues falling, so we did have to, unfortunately, put her in a nursing home for her safety. So this year will be a little bit new. So we're gonna go out and have lunch with her, and then I'm gonna come back and host Christmas Day dinner. There we go. So yeah, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then my cool, we're old, so everybody's got to be out by 9 o'clock New Year's Eve party. Oh, okay. Yep, I see it, Nelson. So I'm gonna do tomorrow. I'm doing ziti because I figured that's easy, and the dip will be perfect because then I don't have to do so much. So again, I can put that out on a tray. And we're gonna do like a little buffet style. So we'll have some meatballs, some ziti. I got Italian bread today. We have like a ton of cookies. So between the cookies and dip, I think we're good. And then Christmas Day, I have a pork loin roast and then a round eye roast. My dad always made, we called it German sauerkraut. I don't really know if it's German or not, but we do, like I do brown sugar, bacon and onions in with the sauerkraut, and then I put that on top of the, yeah, my dad was awesome. I don't know, it's so hard to even talk about him, especially around the holidays, so, but I put that on the pork loin, and that's like a little nod to my dad. Plus, honestly, the lights are a huge nod to my father. He always loved Christmas. We always did lights together. So that is where I got my passion for the Christmas lights. So I'm going to do the round eye roast. That was something my mom loved. And then I'm going to do the pork loin, which is what my dad loved. And some Brussels sprouts with candied bacon and corn, because the kiddo will not touch Brussels sprouts. So, so we'll have corn as a backup for him and mashed potatoes. And again, probably more of this dip will be left over. So that'll be what we'll have for the evening. So yeah, I agree, Nelson. 9 o'clock. I mean, you don't have to go home. You just can't, you can't stay here. Can't stay here. Gotta go somewhere other than here, because I have to go to bed. So I'll have to clean up a little bit, but my goal is to be in bed by 10 o'clock. And yeah, I did see, if you have a streaming service, I think it was it Netflix or Disney? I think it was Netflix last year, had like a countdown, and you could do it like on the hour. And of course my kiddo loves Bluey, so they had like a Bluey 8 o'clock countdown, and we did that, and that was really cute. So he got to do his like midnight countdown at 8 o'clock, and you know, blow the horns and all of that. And so if anybody needs to do or wants to still do a countdown, if you have a streaming service, go on and just, you can probably search in there like, you know, New Year's Eve countdown or something like that, and it'll come up. But I'll look tonight, and if I see it, I'll put it up on my page. So check it out, and I'll see what I can find. I'll put that info up there. Oh no, Nelson's spilling my tea. Yeah. I remember putting Christmas lights up in Middletown as well, and I'm sure you remember the time when I put them up with Kevin, and I fell off my roof, and I broke my back and my elbow, and I drove to the firehouse because I didn't want to admit I was hurt. So that was when I got a very healthy fear of ladders, extension ladders. I don't really care for them. And I will say, my poor husband now, he has to do everything that's high. I just don't, I don't do big ladders. And for like the first few years we were doing the display, we had other friends asking us, why is everything so low? Like, how come we're not doing the roof line, and how come we're not doing this? And it's definitely my fear. I just can't do it, and I keep saying, I love the lights. They're just not worth my life. I'm just not coordinated. I should never be on an extension ladder ever. I don't know what I was thinking. I had some kind of thought in my head that I could do it, and I certainly shouldn't have. But yeah, so lesson learned the really hard way. But if you come by anything that's up really high, that's my husband. It is not me. I am usually holding the ladder in a death grip while he's up there because I absolutely hate it and it gives me anxiety. But we do put it up on the roof line a bit now. I was thinking about trying to eventually move to, I don't know if anybody's seen them, the projection. So there's projectors, they're normal projectors, but they have a big housing and casing, and you put it outside and they throw onto the house, and you can have them look like it's actual lights, things like that, and then you can do a different type of light show with the projector. It's called digital mapping. So we were looking into that, but with the way that our yard is and the way we would have to have the throw for the projector, because if you've seen our house now, we don't have a traditional front yard. We have a bit of a side yard, and then the house is like an L. So to do the projection, we wouldn't be able to probably hit the front of the house. I think it would look a little awkward. So still trying to work through it. I think we could do something with a projection show. I'm just not entirely sure. So, oh, trying to read the comments here again. My old lady kicking in. So yeah, Molly, you need to come by and see the lights. So our lights will be on through January 1st. I will say normally I try to extend it out a little later, but we've had so much snow this year. I'm worried about trying to get everything out because the ground is just so frozen. So January 1st is going to be the last night for our show, even though unfortunately the weekend follows after. I'm more worried about the equipment and the protection of it. So if you want to swing by, make sure you do that before January 1st. And our show runs from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Every single night, unless there is rain. We can't operate in rain. So if I don't know if any rain is in the forecast, and it's been cold enough where it's been mainly snow, we only had one night that we had to shut down. Our GFIs will trip, and that's enough where it can mess with our computer program. So I will just go out and shut the whole thing down. So if it's dicey or it looks questionable, go to our page and make sure that we're still operational. If something happens, I put it out generally immediately. I'll get it on my phone out to everybody. So yeah, Nelson, we've known each other for ever. Yeah, my parents were phenomenal. They are. My mom is phenomenal. It's just such a crummy disease. I feel so bad I can't make it better for her, but we gave her a really, really good amount of time here with us, and we were making sure that, she was well taken care of. And to have her dementia for so long and be as functional as she was, I think it was because she was with us. But when my dad died, Lou Morris, if you remember him, he whispered something in my ear, and he said, you live on, your dad lives on in your heart. And that's what we have to do. We have to live on for loved ones. And even this Christmas season, I made my mom's cookies. So she wasn't here with me, but her spirit was with me. And then I brought them out to the nursing home, and she wolfed those cookies down. She was so excited to have her cookies. So they live on with me and with what I do, and my teachings to my son SJ and all these things. He'll grow up with a love of Christmas, and he'll continue those traditions. So it is hard, and everybody's lost somebody that they love, and it's hard around the holidays, but you have to carry on for them, because you living and doing this is what keeps their legacy going. So I definitely miss my dad, but every time when I'm out there putting a string of lights up, he's with me, and I feel him. He's there. I do it for him, for me, for everybody. But yeah, and that's 100% what I believe. So, oh, thank you, Nelson. That's really nice. Hi, Mary. You're not on replay. You're watching me, girl. I'm still live. I see Mary, hashtag replay. No replay. And I saw you sent me a message, and I'll get back to you in just a little bit. It came over my phone. I couldn't read it fully because I have old lady syndrome, and I'm like focusing down here, but something came over the top, and I think it was about my New Year's Eve party that you missed. We were all just talking about it because it starts at 5 o'clock, and then at 9 o'clock, I have to go to bed. So that's that. And the party will be over. I know it won't be over for you, Mary, because she stays out and she dances and she does all these crazy things, and I'm like, I'm going to bed. So Mary, if you do come, I know you won't be going home, and if you can't come, that's cool too, but yeah. My parents were both doing everything. My mom, my 21st birthday, we had a huge party at my house. I think we had oh my gosh, now we're spilling all the tea. We had a party for my graduation, and everybody came up with the fire department, and she had like the DJ and everything. And then my 21st birthday, a whole bunch of people came up. We went to the fair. I came back, and she had made Jello shots for everybody. She went to bed. She was long in bed, but she wanted to make sure that we were well taken care of. And I'm pretty sure my friends just slept in the yard that evening. So we had this shanty in the backyard, the screen house. My dad would just grill nonstop, and anybody in like a fire truck or EMS could stop by and get a hamburger or hot dog at any time. That man would just be out there grilling. Steaks sometimes too, depending on the funding that we had. But oh yeah, there. Hey, Mare. You missed it though. We made some Christmas tree dip for tomorrow. So I got that in the fridge. Zoe, the recap is Zoe is very upset that I didn't have anything for her. She was down here whimpering and crying, the tax collector, I call her. And I was going to pick her up now that I'm all done with the food, but she is, I think, went into her bed or the cat's bed, one of the two. So we've just been talking about hosting, who's doing what this season, or what in the next 2 days, and then a little bit of what the content will look like going throughout the rest of the year. Because of course we have our New Year's resolutions coming up, which I'm sure I will break by January 2nd, but that's okay. I'm gonna try. And then after that, of course, Valentine's Day and Easter and all sorts of good stuff, and my favorite 4th of July, which again, we always have that ginormous party, so we'll have lots of stuff going on. Oh, sorry, just reading Mary's message. Oh, that's no big deal, Mary. I know you guys are more of like party people, and we're more of like pajama people, so no worries there. So yeah, yes, your Aunt Mary Pat, my mother, made Jello shots. My 21st birthday, every year, so the ongoing joke was I was supposed to be born at the fair. My mom went into labor with me, and the Orange County Fair was going. I have all stepbrothers and sisters. My one stepbrother, they were all supposed to go to the fair that day, and my mom said, you know, I can't go, I'm in labor, and he was really upset because he wanted to go to the fair, and just thought my mom should go anyway. So the joke was they wanted me to be born on the Midway. They were old enough to go to the fair on their own, so they got dropped off, and my mom went to the doctors. So I indeed was not born at the Orange County Fair, and she had me later on that day, but in a hospital. When the family tradition was, because of that joke, is that we went to the fair every single year, and on my birthday. So my 21st birthday, a bunch of the firemen came up. We always have a big barbecue. It always rains at some point. There's like a thunderstorm that rolls in, always. My birthday is mid-July. So firemen came up, we had a big barbecue, and then we all left. We went to the fair. We had a great time at the fair. The power went out. We got stuck on a ride. Good times. When we came back, my parents were in bed, but mom left me a little note that she had made a whole bunch of Jello shots randomly, and that's, you know, my mom was fun, but that was a little bit more than I would expect from her. She wanted to be a nun, so it was kind of funny that, you know, so she made a whole giant tray of Jell-O shots. So my friends had already planned to kind of just stay over anyway, and yeah, I could have been born at the Lions Club, yeah, that right at the tent, the booth that they had. So anyway, so that's where that story came from. Nelson was talking about my parents a little bit in those times, so that story kind of was there. But yeah, they used to barbecue all the time. I was both with the fire department and with volunteer EMS at the time, volunteer fire department, volunteer EMS, and then I wound up working paid EMS for a while. And anytime I was on, if it was holidays, they would go ahead and make up food to get everybody fed. We had one Thanksgiving that we rotated, everybody that I worked with rotated through in the ambulance, and my parents fed everybody both breakfast and dinner that day. My parents were just so incredibly supportive. When I joined the fire department and the ambulance corps, they also joined because I was gone so much and they missed me. So they wanted to be able to do something with me. So they joined both of them. So my parents were in the fire police, and they both wound up becoming EMTs and rode on the ambulance just to spend more time with me, which is crazy, and in a good way, really, really crazy. But yeah, so my parents were fantastic. My dad was fantastic. My mom is fantastic. And I could not have asked for better parents, that's for darn sure. So, but yeah, my mom that wanted to be a nun did make us all Jell-O shots. And they were good. She did a very good job with her Jell-O shots, so I can't complain. But if you're just tuning in, we're kind of reminiscing about our old days with having parties and different things like that, talking about hosting. That's where that kind of came from. I made Christmas tree dip for tomorrow and for Christmas Day. It is very simple. So if you're just tuning in, go back and watch the replay. Anybody can put this dip together, and you can also kind of customize it if you want a little less sugar in it, or you know, you have milk issues or needs. You can definitely tweak this recipe quite a bit. Yeah, so I've been doing this one, I think 3 years now. I've made the Christmas tree dip. It's really, this year has become so popular. There's a big anniversary, so they're going crazy with the little Debbie's Christmas tree cakes. Everybody's got them. It's the big phenomenon, but I've been making the dip for a while, and there's a lot of different variations. I would definitely recommend adding vanilla in. Most of the recipes I have seen online do not call for this, but I think it is so much better with the vanilla in it. And the nice part is that you can put it right back in the Cool Whip container and take it with you. If you are not hosting, if you are hosting, pull it out. I would recommend using sanding sugar on the top, and if you get the little red and green sanding sugar, it looks like the green that's on the cakes, and then of course a little bit of the red in there too, so it gives it a little nice finish on the top. If you are going to use the sanding sugar, just know that it does melt, so I would wait until you're going to serve it before you put it on the top. A couple of the other recipes I've seen, they'll take one of the extra trees and put it on the top. I don't know where they're getting an extra tree, because the recipe calls for 5 of the trees. 5 are what comes in the box. So you're gonna have to get a second box if you wanna put an additional tree on it to make it look a little more festive. But I don't think you need to do that. I think it's really cute if you put it in a glass bowl. You can put it on a little platter, a little board, and then you can kind of mound things around it, and I think it looks super cute with the sanding sugar, and I think that's all that you need. Again, to serve with this, I would serve it with the vanilla wafers. I love the, I think it's honey braided pretzels. If you've seen those, oh, they're so good with this. It's my absolute favorite thing to serve it with. And then graham crackers. You can also serve it with fruit. I never do. I always say you can. I never do. I'm sure strawberries would be also amazing with this. And my other tip, if you're going to make this, is I've seen recipes say that with you're using the Cool Whip that it breaks down quickly, so you should make it and then serve it. I disagree with that. I've had it a couple days after I've made it, and it's so much better if it sits in the fridge for a little while. I would say definitely overnight. So because we are going to eat this tomorrow, I made it tonight, but we're going to eat it on Christmas too, and probably the day after Christmas, and it will be fine. So I highly recommend putting it in the refrigerator for at least 4 to 6 hours, or overnight is best. It lets everything kind of meld together, and it also thickens up when it goes in there. When you make it, it's going to be a little bit thinner than a consistency of a batter. If you put it in the fridge, it will thicken up, and that's what you want. So I disagree with some of the recipes that I've seen out there, and again, I've made this for several years, so I'm a little biased, but I think my way is a better way to do it. Oh, I got my old lady squinting on here, so I see some more stuff. Oh, bye, Mary. Thanks for hopping on, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, hi, Kelly. How are you doing? Ooh, ginger snaps, Nelson. That's a really good idea. Really good idea. Man, I love a good ginger snap. Or I don't know if you've had, like, I like molasses cookies. My grandmother used to make those all the time. Close to a ginger snap. I think they're just a little more chewier. But yeah, I agree. That would probably be, man, that would be really good. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get some ginger snaps tomorrow. But, all right, guys, it's almost, oh my goodness, it's 9:11. Usually I stay on for about 30 minutes, but I've had such a good time chatting with everybody. I'm going to get ready to hop off. I've got a couple more things to do. We decorate our family tree tomorrow night. So we have, my cousin Mary was on just chatting a little bit. She's coming down. My cousin Jackie is coming down, and we are going to decorate our family tree. I'm so excited. It is our tradition. It is something that my parents have always done. My father did it as a child. So we get our family around, we do a big buffet, and everybody comes and they help decorate the tree. I say this so enthusiastically, but usually it's myself and Mary decorating the tree, and I'm forcing other people to help. That's okay. But I have to go get all the balls. They're downstairs, and find the wire, the hooks. I think I know where they are. So I've got to get all that done and ready tonight for tomorrow. But definitely hop on my page. I'm going to put up some more things. I've got some stuff auto-posted, but usually there's some gems that inspire me during the day. So make sure you hop on there, check that out. Again, I'm definitely going to have some more recipe tutorials probably in January. I've got some really cool higher protein things that I want to share using rice cakes. I know, again, it's another one of those, you got to trust the process, but they are so delicious. It's almost like having an ice cream on a rice cake, and they've got a really good amount of protein. So I like to take them to work with me and kind of like eat them on the way. And they're super satisfying, and it's like eating ice cream in the morning. It's so good. But so I think I'm going to share those. I have a couple different variations. I actually have like a peanut butter and jelly one too that's pretty good. So I'm probably going to do maybe a series of those in January. And then I was also thinking, if anybody's interested, I might do a little bit more on the insider scoops on my light shows, just because right now all of my equipment is in use in the yard, so it's really hard to talk about it and not have it here to actually like show and present. So I was thinking maybe in January doing maybe 1 or 2 Tuesdays about my show, the kind of inner workings of it, and if you're thinking about maybe doing a show or maybe upgrading some of the lights that you have. So let me know in the comments if that's something anybody would be interested in seeing. But thank you guys so much for jumping on. I appreciate everybody watching me make some dip and having some laughs and kind of reminiscing and talking. And so many are hosting, maybe just for yourselves or others. So I wish everybody an absolutely very Merry Christmas. And I'll be back on probably next week. So hopefully I'll see everybody before the New Year's hits. But again, thank you so much for hopping on tonight, and have a very Merry Christmas. Bye.